sorry, but the one time they caught Tom Sandoval, he did not look upset in the least. I mean, or sorry, Tom Schwartz. And, see, Tom Sandoval and Raquel have no problems being filmed all over LA with one another. I mean, they just stayed Raquel just slept over at the house, Tom shared with Ariana. It's a little, and I get back to James Kennedy because they all seem like they're invested. They're all talking about, I mean, Lala's talking about it 24/7. I don't know. It's a little like, are you feeling this? Are you feeling like everybody's a little too comfortable with it now?
Well, so we interviewed Oliver. I didn't pick this up on the interview with Oliver. Okay, I mean, he did keep saying that LVP, that she doesn't do anything by default. I didn't read into it the way you're reading into it. You're reading into that like that's what that means, that LVP. I mean, I can't see her staging this whole thing. Like what? You're going to sleep with someone for 7 months? And I mean, God, are we giving any credence to fucking Melon Ball? I mean, but Oliver did keep saying this, Lisa's a genius and she does everything on purpose. Then you afterwards were like, I'm like, no, I don't think he meant that. I mean, I think Oliver kisses the ring that is LVP, as you should, because LVP will, as Oliver told us, LVP said to him when they first met, darling, I might seem nice, but I'm a lion, or watch out, or whatever he said that she said.
Look, I wouldn't cross LVP. I think, I just living here in LA, and now you're a new resident half the year. I think you begin to realize everything is a Hollywood performance from the Kardashians. I mean, we've learned over the years, right? The Flower Gate, when Kim Flower was dumped on her, people have come out and said that was staged and set up by Chris. I mean, there's a lot. I don't know.
You think the Scandoval is staged? You do. I mean, I'm
starting to, because I just feel like they're all so like, usually, all right, you think of what was another massive cheating scandal. You think back in the day when Sandra Bullock and Jesse James, when he was cheating on her with strippers, Tiger Woods, it was hard.
You're referring to my girl, Rachel, you could tell?
Our girl, Rachel, how do you say it?
You could tell.
You could tell. Thank you. Sorry, Rachel. People were reluctant to talk. You think when who was the former governor of New York? Not Anthony Spitzer, but
Cuomo?
No, who was the guy before? Maybe
Scaramucci? It was. I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm dumb, girl. I'm not smart. I'm a dumb lawyer who.
And I know the circumstances are different because these people weren't reality stars, but I mean, these guys are all. Does anybody else think it's a little fishy? I mean, they're all. They're like, Raquel is happy to talk. It's a little like, if this was so, I don't know, real. I mean, you're friends. You're willing to do that to your friends, Sheena, and
yes.
That she was really friends with Lala, but. Maybe, I don't know, I guess, or I think now I'm team Raquel is a very calculated, manipulative human being.
So we had our debate. Is she a wounded bird or now you're in the calculated category, huh?
I am, because I just think they're way too comfortable with this. And I know
you might be getting some points with like the listeners here today, Sarah. Because I mean,
the more I read about it, right? And then
they hate her.
I can get why now. But, Sheena says even the day of her wedding, Tom Sandoval and Ariana were poolside. Raquel were poolside. And again, I don't know. Obviously, Tom and Ariana had tons of issues before. I think that's well documented now. But I mean, the morning of her wedding, which they were both in, they're kind of like canoodling poolside hours before. I mean, like, they should have been getting ready for the wedding, and now everyone's going, oh, you know what? Actually, there were lots of red flags. Like, they obviously were together. I mean, they're just so flippant about it. I don't know. It does,
and yet,
like, she has no. I don't know.
Sheena even said at the reunion that it scared her how just like, yeah, okay, so does anyone else have another question for me? Like she said, it was scary how, I mean, that was my point a couple of weeks ago. Like, if you look at her, it's just, this is why I'm so intrigued. But I I can't get in her mind. I'm so intrigued by her. I really am. Like, she's just like, yeah, like, okay. Like that whole scene I go back to where she was on the phone. She's like, Sheena comes over and she hears Ariana crying. And she's like, why is like my best friend crying? And she's like, hold on, Ariana, hold on. I have to talk to Sheena. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been having a 7-month affair with Tom and I just told Ariana, I'm sorry. And then apparently Sheena, slams her into a wall, or, I mean, all that stuff that we just learned. I know the restraining order was thrown out, and there's also a lot of
And we
confusion
haven't gotten
about
to the
that.
bottom. I was going to say we haven't gotten to the bottom of that, because now I'm reading, that Raquel says that Raquel's sister is the one that really forced her to do this restraining order. Raquel didn't want to do it, but people are saying, Raquel ultimately had to sign off on it. So you're the person that had to sign. Now there's some debate, yeah, it was thrown out. It
And
was only
Sheena's lawyer,
temporary.
Nima, even said, I mean, I can't find it because like there's so much here, but like he even said at one point, yeah, well, there was physical contact, but Sheena didn't punch her in the face. She pushed something like that. I got to find it again. So, but it is thrown out. I mean, so there's that. I don't know. I'm so, somebody wrote to me, a listener, is like, I think I need to explain why we're all so taken aback by this. And it's not just that we've all been there with these people from the beginning. It's that this is our deepest fear, that someone's going to cheat on us. Now, I need to give credit to who this is, but it is 7:23 in the morning and I don't have this. I'm sorry, but this gentleman knows who he is. I just don't know. But I was like, okay, I see your point. Like, it is bringing out people's insecurities, and the world has revolted. I don't know. I really think for me, it probably goes back to the fact that I have a cynical view of the world. And although I do not think that everybody cheats, I understand you know what it is? Let me explain this. I am so shocked when I meet just a nice person, like a nice person. I'm like, wow, like you're like yesterday. Okay, it wasn't sexual. This was a straight guy, but there was this guy who is straight. Don't ask how all this was happening. He was just this guy. He served in the military. I mean, he was so fucking hot. And his wife is sick. They're on vacation here in LA, and she's been in the hotel room. And he's like, I haven't done anything. This was their first time on an airplane. And I'm just looking at this guy like, I mean, you are like, do you realize what you have here? Like, you're really like, the body was hot, face was hot. It was all really hot. Yeah, I mean, I would have gone there. Sure. I guess I'm a home wrecker too. But the point is, I am always shocked when I meet a nice person who is truly nice. So I think for me, after this listener slipped into my DM and explained that this brings out the deep insecurities that people have, I think I just am a horrible, like my views of the world are so jaded that I'm just like, oh yeah, she cheated, like whatever. I'm shocked at the opposite. I'm shocked when someone is a nice, pure, kind soul. I'm very happy in life. This isn't like I protest too much.
Right.
I have worked very hard to set, it's not that I'm unhappy. I just have a jaded view of humanity. So I think for me, this doesn't cut deep. I can't, yeah, I feel bad for Ariana, of course.
Well, also,
It doesn't cut deep.
they were not married. And, I think there's always that saying, may not be right or wrong, but I mean, does it count if you're not married or engaged? I mean, they weren't, I think if you're married, it's a whole different ballgame, because you have, unless you and your partner have
Vows.
a different agreement. Yeah, most people have made a commitment to be monogamous. So I do think there's a difference between when you're not, again, it still hurts. They were together for 9
Yeah.
years. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh,
And you also think it's partly fake. See, I didn't think it was fake. I thought that everybody was chiming in just